Hi everyone, and welcome to the last lecture for this module. Let's get started. So by the end of this lecture, you will be able to, the first two bullet points you already should be able to do from lecture 1 and 2, the difference between topic and issue, the 3 parts of an argument, and these last 2 bullets, how to locate reasons and conclusions, approach to decision making. You'll be able to list those after we finish this lecture. So, conclusion. Conclusion is also called a position or a claim. There is 3 ways you could do this conclusion. It doesn't matter which one's first, but a conclusion is pretty much just taking a stand on an issue or the position that you take on an issue. So as you can see, the first 2 are very similar. So stop bullying, I'm taking a stand against that. And I am against school uniforms. That's a position taken on the issue. And the last one is a lot of what you're going to see is when you're using, when you're reading or when you begin to write your own paper for your final. It's the thesis statement that will express the conclusion of the author. Americans should add exercise to their daily morning routine because, before the because, that right there is the conclusion. The author believes that Americans should add exercise to their daily morning routine. So now, how do we locate conclusions in an argument? First, we want to look at the position of the writer or the speaker. Where do they stand? How do we know that? We look at those indicator phrases. My point is, what I believe is, obviously, it is evident that. So right after that, they're going to tell you where they stand. Look at the beginning or the ending in your reading. Look at the beginning to see if in their thesis statement where they're telling you their stance on an issue. And look at the end. After all of this evidence, this is why I believe you should agree with me. That is the end. Okay, so look at those to tell you where these writers or speakers are standing. Then ask yourself also, you can also ask yourself, what is being claimed? Think about watching a commercial and asking yourself, what is it that they're trying to get me to believe? You're having a conversation with someone and they bring up an issue and they're arguing their issue. You're listening to these reasons and you're saying, okay, what is it that they want me to agree with them or disagree with them on? Indicator words, therefore, so, thus, and hence, also set up the claim. And look at the title. Many times there's titles where, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. And let me tell you the story. Well, in that title itself, you know that there's not going to be, the stand is against drunk drivers. Okay, so look at titles of the literature you read, and this will help you to locate the conclusion in arguments. Now we go to reasons. Reasons are very important because they are the justification, the support, the evidence. They are the premise for your conclusion. So those 4 words are another name for reasons. And we have these reasons if we have a strong justification, support, evidence, or premise. They will provide the support for our conclusion. They will strengthen why we are for or against something. Without reasons, you have no argument. So keep that in mind. Without reasons, you have no argument. If when I teach this class on ground, and I used to teach it to the ACE program, which was high school students dual enrolled, and I would often ask them the question, is Trump doing a good job as our president? Right away, I would have 1 student or 2 jump up. No, he's not. Great. What are your reasons? and they couldn't think of them. And that's what I would use for this. Doesn't mean that he is or he isn't. It's just that you don't have an argument if you don't have reasons. So let's go on to our next one here. How do we locate the reasons in an argument? Well, we want to apply the because. Think about this. If going back to that question, is so-and-so a good president? Is so-and-so a good leader? Is so-and-so a good teacher? You want to apply the because. Yes, they are because, or no, they're not because. Give those reasons will strengthen the argument, and that will help you in your reading as well. When you're reading, look for those indicator words. Because, for, first, second, third, as evidenced by, also, furthermore, in addition. These are all indicators that there's a reason that's coming up right after these keywords. And third, support material. Support material is so important because this is really where you're going to get the strength of your argument, of your conclusion. So the support material are going to be reasons that are examples, statistics, analogies, reports of studies, so any scientific work, expert testimony. If you have lawyers, doctors, medical personnel, and also even people who have experience or are on the side of benefiting or losing in regards to the issue. So real life account is also great ways to support your reasons, your argument. Finally, we want to go now into the decision-making model and see how we can apply it. In one of your assignments, you have to list the steps, which are right here, and then give an example of a decision that you made and the process that you went to make your final choice. So this first step, I have a picture of a dictionary there. The dictionary is because you want to define the dilemma by asking a question. What is the problem or the issue that you have to decide on? Why is it good? Why is it bad? Look at the long-term objectives. What is it for the future? 3, determine the most important factors. What are the priorities here? 4, weigh the factors against the choices. And 5, choose the highest scoring alternative. The best example I can give you is, for me, trying to decide, so I'm going up to number 1, my dilemma is, do I go to California to visit my niece and nephew, or do I just continue talking to them here in Arizona via internet, via FaceTime? Now I look at the long-term objectives. Well, if I go over there, I get to spend time with them, I get to hug them and play with them. But I also now have to go into the factors. So what are my factors? The factors are that if I go, I can risk getting them infected or I can risk myself getting sick. Now I'm weighing those factors against the choices I have to make. I can go, enjoy their company, but I also have that risk factor of their health or my health. So now I'm going to choose my highest scoring alternative. I can still see them and spend time with them online and not risk getting sick or getting them sick. Therefore, I'm going to choose to stay at home and just continue talking to them through FaceTime. So think about that as you create your assignment and you're writing the decision-making model into how you came up with your own choice. Okay, have a good day. The last slide here is just a quick little quiz of how you can actually quiz yourself. And this will help you be all set up for Monday. So Monday's quiz will cover, difference between a topic and an issue. And also think about in you describing the difference between a topic and an issue, can you give an example in your explanation? What are the three parts of an argument? You know they start with an I, R, and a C. How to locate reasons and conclusions. We talked about that in this lecture. What are the three steps? And then the approach to making decisions. What are the steps? And think of a time when you could have used this approach. Or think of a time when you did use this approach. So for anything, if you need to, at any time if you need to review, just go back through the lectures. Definitely read chapter 1 and prepare for your test. Any questions, just email me and I'll be happy to answer them. Have a great rest of your day.